Hello! So I'm sure that since you've seen the title of the video, you want to know about the Fusion 360 custom drawing templates and title blocks. So I have an opportunity to show you how that works since I've just made a new one. This is the little assembly I'm going to use to explain how it works. This is how it goes together. It's a simple little thing. It's a little poppet cheek valve for a high pressure compressor final stage. So first of all, you're going to want to make a custom title block because the Fusion 360 standard ones are kind of lame. This is the one that I've just finished up making. It's a title block that's going to be well suited to small machine components. It has some tolerancing information, company name, and pulls pretty much all the information that Fusion can give you about your part into the drawing. So it's got some standard notes as well, but first of all, the first step to making a drawing is making a new template. So from anywhere in Fusion you can do this step. You go and make a new drawing template from scratch. I'm using ISO and an A3 size. Once you're here, you'll see that it's already got what you would think of as the standard Fusion 360 title block. Double click on that, and we want to go edit title block. It'll give you this error that says, "Whoa, the default title block can't be edited. Do you want to add a new one?" Yeah, let's add a title block, and we can either go from existing if you've already got another one or from the default one, or we can go from scratch. So give it a name, I'm going to call it test, and you end up with a completely blank sheet ready to make stuff in. You use lines, and you can make it whatever you want, change the line weight. You can build anything. Inside that you also get normal text fields that you can add text into, and you also get these attribute fields, which can either be the set of standard information that Fusion will pull through from your part for you, or you can add a custom one, which you just enter some generic text in that you can then modify in the drawing. I'll show you how that works in a sec. So I guess you can imagine that instead of drawing crazy lines like that, you would actually draw, nice lines like this that then start to look kind of professional. Anyway, okay, so I'm gonna say that's done. You now know how to start making and build a title block. My title block looks like this. It has a bunch of gritty space for revisions, dates, by, modifications, and approval. We also have some notes on which standard of tolerancing I'm using. I use the ISO 2786-1 method, which isn't decimal count based. It's just based on how big the part is as to how tight your tolerancing is, unless you put a manual inspection tolerance on it. Then I have just a JPEG image of company logo and some copyright information, and the fact that this is going to be third angle projection. This is how the title, those automatically pulled through attributes look like when you haven't got anything on them. And I've also got some notes. So if I go edit title block, this is that same screen that we were looking at before, just with a bunch of stuff added. These are standard notes that you can change once you put them in, and you can change them in the drawing. They're not stuck there. So you change them for each drawing package, and they'll be standard for each drawing in there, and I'll show you that as well. You also inside your notes here, when you add a text field, you get access to a bunch of symbols, which can be useful. I've used them to generate this tolerancing table, which is the medium tolerancing standard from ISO 2768-1. So that says that from 0 to 3, and including 3, for linear dimensions you've got a plus 0.1 tolerance, and then different numbers for external radius and chamfers, and different numbers for angular dimensions. So Cool. That's my template that I've made. Every time you go into editing it, it wants to resave, like it gives you that little asterisk, and I don't care about having heaps of versions, so I just save it. So this is just a cover sheet drawing that I made for using that template. So basically just from here, you go animation, and inside animation go drawing, from animation, and then select this template that you will have saved, and then just place the floating exploded view that it has already in there, place the table which auto populates the balloons, and then I've also, so once you're in the drawing, you can edit the notes, so you just go edit title block, and this is only changing it for that drawing package. It's not changing the actual template. So you'll see here that there are 5 notes here. In the template I've got 4. I've just gone in and double clicked and added ultrasonic clean required, and we'll finish editing. So that's all done. In terms of this information down here, you'll see that sheet has auto-populated, size, I've already got 2 sheets here. Size has auto-populated, scale has auto-populated based on the initial imported part size. It's pulled through which project I'm in, which is my pneumatic fittings project, and it's got the title of the part that I'm pulling information from, which is lower check valve. Over here we have, this is some manually entered stuff. So now you see if I double click here, you'll see all that blue text, which are the attributes that were on the previous screen in here. If I double click here and go edit title block, you'll see that this is the blue text that I was placing like this. Oh, by the way, the editing screen is a bit jumpy, so don't be worried when you see some stuff jump around. Once you've set it, you can always just grab stuff and move it around. If you use the zoom to get fine control, and the 1mm grid that they give you is pretty good. So yeah, I'm gonna just close that so I don't keep editing it. So once you're in it, you'll see that all of this information that you've put in, and you just click where you want to enter, and you just enter away, and off you go. I'll just delete that. Come on, you bastard. Yeah, so there we go. Stuff to watch out for is if you add notes to one sheet, it will add them to every sheet. So see here that this is another part in this assembly. See, this is just part of that little assembly. If I add a note here, edit title block, then it will change the title, that part of the title block for everything. So I'll just put a test thing in there, finish edit, and if I go back to this original sheet, then you'll see that test is shown up there as well. Something that doesn't follow nicely is that you'll see here that this is a 4:1 scale, and it shows 4:1 there, but it didn't do that automatically. I'll make a new sheet. So if I go add a sheet here, then you'll see that it's pulled through everything. I've got an unknown scale there. So if I then go and add a part, and I add that as 1 to 4, and I go OK, then it'll catch that. But if you did it the other way around, which I tend to do as habit, which maybe I should just change my habit, is I'll place it, then I'll pick the part that I want to show. Let's say I want to show the check valve seat, and then, so if I delete that, so this shouldn't be driven. Okay, let's start this again. I'll do it very clean. So we've got a new sheet, got no scale there. I'll add a part, I'll go OK, and I'll pick the part that I want to show. Now it's got scale 1:1. Now if I go in here and I change that to a 4:1 and I go close, it doesn't update, which is a bit of it's not that great. So, but rest assured, you can always just go in here and change that to 4:1, which is kind of an okay workaround, but the best thing to do is what I did initially, which is just remember to change it to the scale that you want originally. Sometimes that's hard to do because you can't always see how it's going to fit on the page, but it's just something to watch for. What else? If you want to add notes to a specific sheet, like if say this part, this would likely be a machined plastic part, and it will need maybe a different surface finish or a different tolerance on something, and you want to add a note to it. Just use a normal text note, which is a bit ugly, but honestly it's just the best way. Just add a note there, and that's the kind of the best way to make sure it's just here and not on every other sheet. What else? Oh yeah, so there is another thing, which is this revision information, and say this material that I've added and this finish will carry across to any new sheets that you generate based on the sheet that you currently had selected. So you can see here I've already populated this sheet here with badly, horribly dimensioned, not complete, no tables or anything. But I've populated it with a new revision. So if I'll just delete these so it's nice and clean. So if I generate a new sheet while I've got this one selected, then that new sheet is going to have Rev 0 on it, and it's going to have the same revision information as that one. But if I have this one selected and I go at quick add, then it's going to have that revision 1 information on it. So because of how Fusion handles drawing packages, so you have your front sheet is the assembly file and assembly drawing, and then the subsequent ones are just parts. You need to be sure, depending on how your company, your projects, whatever, like to handle versioning on or revisioning on your documents, just need to make sure that you're careful about that, because it's not going to create you a blank one automatically if you wanted blank, and it's not going to always show you the latest and greatest one if that's what you wanted. It's basically you pick, up to you to screw it up. Yeah, so I guess that's everything that I wanted to show you. And yeah, I guess I'm sure that Fusion is going to bring out more of these automated fill fields, because yeah, right now it's kind of limited, but I can see that there's difficulty in adding the new ones. It could be quite a challenge. So yeah, for the moment now, at least you can make nice professional looking drawings using whatever title block style you want, whether it's up the right here or down the bottom like I like it. And yeah, so it's definitely an improvement, but I'm sure there'll be more to come. Yeah, so thanks for watching.